10:55 a.m. After his late slumber, Mattias woke up and realized he could call his uncle to look after his sister. After having called his Uncle Harold, he reminded Chloe that he would be hiring their uncle to take care of her as he left for Disneyland. However, Chloe was dissatisfied. "You mean you don't want to bring me to Toy Story Mania?" she spoke, raising her voice about to tear up. Mattias sighed. To put it bluntly, yes. Chloe's eyes widened and her jaw dropped. "I hate you!" she cried, her eyes glistening with tears. Mattias became stunned, hearing those words out of his sister's mouth. 5:40 p.m. "Just don't worry about it, Matt. I can find something to keep her occupied," Uncle Harold replied, reassuring both his nephew and niece. Mattias nodded, not saying a single word as he finished his early dinner. He walked out of the house to pick up a taxi. Having arrived at 6 p.m., Having arrived at Disneyland, Mattias was prepared for his final night. He then noticed Jonna sitting near a sign. "Jonna, you're here again?" he questioned, getting her attention. "Mattias," Jonna spoke, hearing the dirty blonde teenager's voice. "Did you hire a babysitter?" "Well, technically not a babysitter, but my uncle," Mattias replied. "Well, that's nice. At least you took my word," Jonna said with a smile. Mattias took a deep breath. "Need to finish my shift for this week," he said under his breath. Jonna then followed him in to work as a team. In the office, Jonna told Mattias that her father murdered several children, even his cousin. When he murdered all the children, the souls haunted the Toy Story animatronics, explaining their active behavior this week. "So, your father killed those innocent children, including Charlie?" Mattias asked. "To put it bluntly, yes," Jonna sighed. Matt held Jonna's hand to comfort her, telling her that she moved in with her mother after disowning her father, which Jonna smiled in relief with. Mattias then put in the final tape into the audio cassette, but it was very, very off-putting. All he heard was some garbled speeches and some cut-off shrieking. Mattias ejected the tape, horrified. "Well, let's continue watching, shall we?" he whimpered. Back at the Robbins household, Chloe was still wallowing over not coming to Disney World. She was feeling bored, yet alone. Suddenly, there was a tap on her window. It was the Jessie animatronic. "Jessie?" Chloe questioned, her eyes widening. The Jessie animatronic opened the window carefully, before gesturing her to walk to Disneyland with her. Chloe smiled, elated at the thought of going to Disneyland with a robot version of one of her favorite characters. She held the Jessie animatronic's hand as the two walked all the way to Disneyland. Back at the attraction, Mattias and Jonna looked through the cameras. They looked through most of the areas of each attraction, but realized one of the animatronics was missing. Most of them were in their places, but only Woody was in the western area. No sign of Jessie. "Wait, Jessie's missing?" Mattias gasped. "Where did she go?" Jonna panicked. Just then, the Woody animatronic looked up at the camera, glaring angrily. "Bring Chloe to us," he said. "What?" Jonna and Mattias exclaimed in unison. "She can't visit anymore. Jonna told me that," Mattias reasoned. "If you don't bring her to join us, we will kill you both," the Woody animatronic threatened. Mattias thought for a moment until... "No, I'm sorry." Then both the Woody and Buzz animatronics marched slowly down the halls to potentially attack the two teenagers. "Shit! What do we do, Mattias?" Jonna yelled, panicking. "Hide! I'll take care of them," he demanded. Jonna nodded, hiding and locking herself behind a supply closet. Just then, both Buzz and Woody charged up to Mattias, knocking him out cold. Minutes after passing out, Mattias woke up, strapped to some dentist-like chair. "What the hell?" "Let me out of this now!" he shouted angrily. Just then, there was a green glow, revealing both Woody and Buzz, the glow from his suit. I'm afraid we shan't let you. You've refused to bring Chloe to us. Now we will make you a part of us, Buzz said, with a grimace. And? Do you want to know what happened to that schmuck who recorded those phone messages? Woody snickered. That was the guy who sent me those messages? Asked Mattias. Woody then presented the phone man's corpse laid near the doorway. That's right. We attempted making him into one of us, and he died like a bitch. Buzz activated the machine to potentially kill Mattias and stuff him into a Woody suit. So long, the Woody animatronic said, as he and Buzz walked off the backstage, chuckling evilly. Mattias was scared, but he managed to reach a nail on part of the chair to unscrew himself. As the shredding mechanism had almost reached his face, he successfully unscrewed the bolts. Unstrapping his right hand and used the shredder to free his left arm, he then fled back into the office, locking every door and reassuring Jana. The door banging was slightly loud. It startled Jana, but she carefully looked out through the door's window, showing Mattias. How did you... she asked, bewildered. Torture device. Freed myself, panted Mattias. Jana then pointed to another direction, grabbing his attention, showing the Jessie animatronic bringing Chloe in. Chloe? Jessie was with her the entire time? Mattias gasped. Jana opened the window slightly to eavesdrop on the conversation between Chloe and the animatronics. After seeing Jessie take Chloe away into another room, Jana trembled, slowly turning to Mattias. They're going to kill your sister and make her one of them, she gasped. You're kidding me, he whispered, pent. Mattias then stormed towards one of the office doors, determined to attack the animatronics, like how they attacked him. Matt, what are you doing? Jana asked. I need to save her, Mattias growled. He unlocked the door, storming into the shadows. No, Matt! Hushed Jana again. Sneaking and hiding carefully, Mattias spied on both the Woody and Buzz animatronics before noticing a mop bucket. Mattias slightly smiled, frightened at the first idea of his. He carefully grabbed the bucket before seeing more of the animatronics. Rex, Ham, Mr. Potato Head, Bo Peep, one of the aliens, and Wheezy. He smirked cockily, thinking he hit the jackpot with more animatronics. He then poured part of the water onto the floor, to which all of the animatronics short-circuited before falling down to the ground. Mattias thrusted his fist and elbow downward, muttering a little yes under his breath. He tiptoed into the room. Jessie took Chloe in. Down the hallway, Jessie showed Chloe some sort of mechanism, a Jessie animatronic suit with bolts, nails, and spring locks left inside. What's that, Jessie? A sister of yours? Asked Chloe, concerned. Jessie stared at Chloe, not bothering to reply. Then, out of nowhere, she picked the 10-year-old up, threatening to put her in the suit. Put me down! Shrieked Chloe. Somebody help me, please! Mattias heard his sister's familiar shrieks tiptoeing. Alarmed, he rushed down, noticing the redhead cowgirl about to stuff Chloe into the leftover Jessie suit. Leave my sister alone, you bitch! Mattias angrily yelled, catching Jessie's attention, in which she accidentally let go of Chloe, who fled from her arms. He then noticed a nearby fire extinguisher that he threw against her face, knocking her down. Chloe then ran to Mattias for a hug before they both hugged. Matt, I'm so sorry I was being ungrateful earlier, she cried, tearing up. Don't blame yourself. I'm sorry I acted a little like an overprotective jerk to you, Mattias responded, reassuring his sister before wiping her tears from her face. I love you, Matt, she said, struggling to smile by her brother's reassurance. Let's get out of here, said Matt as he held Chloe's hand and the two made a dash for the exit. But as they almost reached the office, they were stopped by distant footsteps coming from the door next to them. Chloe, hide. I'll take care of this, he said, as he gestured Chloe to hide. Chloe agreed, hiding behind one of the ride seats. Mattias frantically looked around for something to defend himself with, before the footsteps came closer, revealing a tourist in a Zurg suit from the defunct Club Buzz attraction years ago. Oh shit, whispered Matt. He then noticed a nearby mop to deflect the Zurg animatronic with by hitting him in the chest. However, it had no effect. Do better than that, the Zurg animatronic said, before he grabbed Mattias by the collar of his guard uniform, before punching him to a riding seat near the one Chloe was hiding in. The Zurg animatronic chuckled menacingly, enjoying Mattias suffering the torture. Mattias, she whispered softly, concerned for her older brother. We meet for the first time, Charlie's cousin. I am going to end this once and for all. The Zurg animatronic said, before laughing evilly. How do you know me? Are you Jonna's dad? Mattias panted. Shut up! The Zurg animatronic snapped, before he grabbed him again and threw him against one of the ride's backgrounds. Wake up, my children! We have a 2-in-1 prize for ourselves! The Zurg animatronic yelled, grabbing all of the animatronic's attentions. Let's all finish this! Suddenly, the Zurg animatronic was punched in the face by Jonna, who came to the Robin siblings' defense. They're my friends, Dad! Leave them alone! She growled, pinning her dad to the ground. Mattias, are you okay? Chloe screamed, running to her unconscious brother and began shaking him. Please, wake up! I've been your father for 17 years, Jan, the Zurg animatronic sparked. And this is how you're repaying me? Pathetic! You're almost 18, so be a good girl for me and help me fix this mess. Mattias woke up, hearing his desperate sister's cries, before turning to Jonna, confronting her father. Jonna, don't disrespect your father. The Zurg animatronic growled before he took off the helmet, revealing Josh Fromley. Do as I say! Mattias' eyes widened, seeing Mr. Fromley's face under the mask that long. Chloe, reveal what he did to our cousin and your friends, he whispered. Chloe nodded before he grabbed a blank piece of paper to draw on, running to the main area of the attraction. This caught Fromley's attention. He pushed Jonna off him to presumably kill the 10-year-old and stormed towards the girl. Jonna followed behind. Don't you hurt her, Dad! Fromley violently turned around and grasped Jonna's neck to strangle her. Jonna! Mattias yelled. He regained strength and ran towards the man he trusted at first to attack him. Get the fuck away from your daughter! Mattias then shoulder charged into Fromley, falling alongside an unconscious Jonna to the floor. Fromley attempted to punch Mattias again, but he hit him in the face with a mop to stun him. Chloe continued drawing on the piece of paper as Mattias stayed busy, restraining Fromley from her. I trusted you, Mr. Fromley. How could you have killed my cousin? And my sister's friends too? Mattias growled, putting Fromley into a headlock. I am not Josh Fromley, he growled. I am Carmen Varga! The deranged Varga headbutted Mattias in the nose, stunning Mattias once again. Chloe had finished drawing with her crayons, with Varga a few inches away from her. What have you done? He seethed. He saw the drawing that Chloe drew, of him in a Zurg suit without the helmet, killing all of the children he abducted, notably her cousin Charlie. Mattias regained consciousness before grabbing his flashlight out his pocket, shining it on the drawing. Chloe glared at Carmen, the plan having succeeded, alongside Mattias, who grinned alongside her. All of the Toy Story animatronics saw the drawing. Believing Mattias and Chloe much to their success, they slowly inched towards Mr. Varga. Varga looked around, seeing all his victims crowding around him. They see what you did to them. They will punish you, boasted Chloe. Mattias got back up on his two legs, holding Chloe's hand. The Woody, Buzz, and Jessie animatronics all glanced at the three. "We apologize for having doubted you, kid," Woody said. "You were right about Mr. Varga," Buzz also said. "Now leave. We'll take care of him for you," said the Jessie animatronic finally. Mattias nodded as he and his sister made another run for it. "Attack those three humans! They disrespected me, and all of you!" Mr. Varga shouted. "If you don't do as I have told you, I will punish you!" Suddenly, the Rex animatronic bit Varga in the thigh, stunning him. Varga then picked up the Zurg helmet, holding it over him. "I will never stop," he proclaimed, before finally putting it back over his head. Mattias then found Jana lying unconscious, before he grabbed her to save her from the chaos. The siblings fled with the unconscious Jana, as the Toy Story animatronics dragged a likely lifeless Varga with them, as the place destructed and debris fell. Saturday, 8:11 p.m. Mattias was asleep, forgetting about what happened that night, before Chloe barged into his room, reminding him that somebody had called him from the hospital. "It's for you," she said innocently. "Is it Jana?" he asked rhetorically. He then put the phone over his mouth. "Hello? Hey, Mattias. It's me, Jana." Mattias's eyes widened. He was relieved that Jana survived. "Oh, thank goodness," he sighed. Jana continued speaking about how she went at the hospital. "Apparently, I had a coma after my dad strangled me. The doctors managed to give me surgery before they lost me. I just need to stay in the hospital for a week before I fully recover. Is it okay with you?" Mattias agreed, and he told her what happened to Mr. Varga last night. Jana was shocked, but she already disarmed him because of his unforgivable crimes. The two ended their call as Mattias wished her a quick recovery. He put his phone back on his desk. "So, do you want to play with our Toy Story toys with me, and then watch the movies on DVD?" Chloe asked. Mattias struggled thinking, before he proudly agreed. Chloe was pleased. She held his hand to take him out of his bed, so he could join her for some playtime and a movie marathon. The siblings bonded, having fixed their relationship and having no more worries nor conflicts, as they played with the toys they had over the years, from the Woody doll, the Buzz Lightyear action figure, the Jessie doll, Mr. Potato Head, and much more.